Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's quick Grandstand, we're going to talk about how Arizona currently has a new sitting governor, and it's the fourth in line of succession, which is fucking weird, dude. Like, on a lot of different levels. I know there's been a lot of court cases in Arizona in the last year, specifically because Kari Lake should be governor there. Legitimately, she should be. Katie Hobbs should have never been allowed to hold office in that state, ever. And I've said this before, by the way, on this channel and multiple other channels for that matter. No sitting Secretary of State should be legally allowed to run for any elected office in this country if they are still sitting in the Secretary of State's office. Specifically because of the fact that when you look at who actually controls elections at a state level for both state and federal races, shocker, it's the Secretary of State. Which is exactly how that bitch, Katie Hobbs, illegally put herself into the position of power she's in right now. Exactly how Brian Kemp did the same thing in Georgia. Now, granted, I'm not saying that Kemp or Stacey Abrams should have been in the fucking office in that one, dude, because Stacey Abrams was obviously cheating too in the 22 midterms. That's what it was, and 2022 for that matter as well. The entire point is, though, it should have been a third person entirely in Georgia there. But yeah, with the Katie Hobbs Kari Lake situation there, very, very fucking fishy. But yeah, as of about an hour ago, give or take, you had this pop up in my Twitter feed here, and we're going to go ahead and talk about this right now, which is from Citizen Free Press. It says, just in, as of this evening, Katie Hobbs is not the governor of Arizona. Republican Kimberly Yee, I guess I pronounce it, Y-E-E, the state treasurer, is currently the acting governor. The reason is now unknown. And as Kimberly said here, it said, this is as of sometime this afternoon / evening, so a few hours ago is what it was there, says, Arizona Treasurer Kimberly Yee's office, or Kimberly Yee's statement on serving as acting governor, quote, I have been notified that I will be serving as acting governor beginning later this evening until mid-morning tomorrow. While I am pleased to step into this role, I will refrain from naming directors of the 13 agencies that currently have vacancies and will not call the Arizona legislature into session to confirm them. That being said, I do hope when the governor returns to Arizona, she will promptly name qualified directors to these important state agencies and remove the legal uncertainty that exists for all the regulatory actions taken by the agencies. I expect to see a swift resolution to this matter so we can get back to getting the work done for Arizona taxpayers. The people of Arizona deserve leaders who follow rule of law. So that's all interesting, by the way, for several different reasons. So number one, she specifically says in that statement, I'll go back to it right now. She said, I will refrain from naming directors, and then said, when the governor returns to Arizona. So thing is, she never said when Katie Hobbs returns to Arizona. She just said when the governor returns. So, yeah, very, very fucking interesting, dude. And then some people are saying that Katie Hobbs left the state for the night. I think she fled the state, dude, because she knows she's gonna get arrested for a bunch of shit. Is what it is right now, for literally massive voter fraud is what it is there. Because that's the thing, they've been doing whole court cases about this shit for like almost a year now, dude. Is what it is. And like I said, the fact that when you actually look at the gubernatorial line of successions in every single state, because I had to look it up actually to see what Arizona's is there, I didn't realize that Arizona doesn't have a lieutenant governor, which is fucking insane, dude. It's like, what the hell, bro? Very, 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 very suspect. But yeah. So basically, when you look into Arizona here, it's their line of succession goes governor, Secretary of State, Attorney General, State Treasurer, and then Supervisor of Public Education. So when you look at it, you had a Secretary of State and an AG in line of succession above this Kimberly woman, but yet neither one of them was named acting governor. And that also brings more credence to what I was talking about a minute ago, because when you look at who the current quote-unquote AG is there, as well as Secretary of State, these people are also fraudsters, is what it is, dude. They're also Democrat fraudsters from 2022 in terms. So it tends to make a lot of sense. So, Yeah, very, very fishy in general. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. It'll be very interesting if it happens here, honestly, dude. Because the fact that she was talking about mid morning tomorrow is what it is. So obviously it's like 9 p.m. there. I'm not mistaken, because I want to say Arizona's on like California, um, West Coast time and stuff like that. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see though if that's the truth then. But yeah, really, really hope that if that be the case, what Kimberly was actually talking about is the real governor, Kari Lake, being back in Arizona then tomorrow. And you just see Kari Lake finally being installed as governor there. That'd be fucking awesome. I don't know. One can hope, man. One can hope the court cases finally got through is what it is. Because, I mean, that's the thing. You have, like, I mean, they've had, like, legitimately, like, a bunch of court cases that just prove fuckery in multiple counties. And the thing is, it's not like cartels haven't bought off politicians at this point in many of these border states is what it is, man. I mean, hell, it's not even just Arizona. There's other ones in New Mexico specifically that I heard about recently. It was state senators and a couple state reps there that are directly working for cartels in Mexico is what it is. And their whole entire campaigns were funded by cartel money through like drug funds and like gang funds and everything else like that from cartel profits and stuff like that from different illegal businesses would be there. So yeah, I don't know. Just crazy to think about though. And like I said, if that be the case, like, I've talked about on this channel before, actually, like, I really do think the dominoes are starting to fall in this country. And, we've also brought civil war quite a bit. Here's what it is, as well as balkanization and stuff like that. I honestly think the dominoes are about to fall on like 20 different sitting governors right now, because if this does go how I would hope it does, where you have Kari Lake actually being installed as the rightful governor of Arizona right now, is what it would be tomorrow morning. You could potentially also have other people come out and go after Whitmer in Michigan, go after Janet Mills in Maine, go after Gavin Newsom in California, go after Jay Inslee in Washington State, go after Tina Kotex or Codex, however you pronounce her fucking name there in Oregon, et cetera, et cetera. Because there's at least a dozen sitting Democrat governors right now from the 2022 midterms besides Katie Hobbs that 100% committed mass voter fraud in the 2022 election cycle. And that's just sitting governors, by the way. They're illegally in office right now. That's not counting various state reps that are Democrats. That's not counting various state senators that are Democrats. That's not counting, AGs or Secretary of State or anything like that. That's not counting various, federal elected officials right now, whether it be sitting congressmen, sitting senators, et cetera, right there. I blew the fucking lid off here in Ohio. What was it, like 5 years ago now? When we talked about Sherrod Brown's cheat is what it was. And the fact that in over 4 years now that Frank LaRose has been Secretary of State of Ohio currently, has done nothing to actually look into this dude's clearly massive voter fraud here. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? And now you're trying to run against this dude come 2024? Like, what the fuck, guy? It's just so asinine is what it is, dude. And that's the problem. It's these spineless rhino fucks in general that are in office too that refuse to even do their job. To call this shit out for what it fucking is, honestly. And that's why, truthfully, it does kind of scare me quite a bit when we come to 2024 here pretty soon. Because I have no idea what's going to happen, honestly, if we even make it to the election cycle there. Because obviously you're having them going to cheat like crazy again is what it's going to be. I mean, it's not like Democrats haven't done it in the last like 3 or 4 election cycles, honestly, we know about currently. And that goes all the way back to 2016. It's probably way before that, too, for that matter. So, honestly, like I would say really 2016 going into 2018 then, and then obviously 2020 and 2022, you can basically just start seeing patterns of that shit, dude, where it's like obvious fuckery going on there. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here, though. But I would love to see this be the first domino that falls, honestly. And you see Kari Lake be installed as governor tomorrow morning there in Arizona. You see her start actively calling the shit out at a base level is what it is there. And yeah, then you start having a bunch of people like Tudor Dixon in Michigan, Paul LePage, I think his name was Paul LePage, who was the ex-governor of Maine, who obviously was cheated in 2022 as well. have him call out Janet Mills there, have Larry Elder and others call out Gavin Newsom for Newsom's 2021 recall election and the 2022 midterms as well, for that matter. So, yeah, it could be very interesting, man. And this could possibly be a huge game changer, honestly. But only time will tell, honestly. So, looking forward to tomorrow, honestly, right now, man. And most likely, if there's any update to this whole thing, I'll talk about it in tomorrow's Buckshot Thursday episode. It'll be one of the stories there for that. But other than that, yeah, just want to come on here for a few minutes and basically discuss this because I think it's a very interesting story, honestly. And like I said, the fact that you had Kimberly release that statement, and the fact, and like I said, honestly, the thing that I think is more telling is the fact that you had, if it was going to be something where, technically Hobbs was still in office or whatever illegally, but yet she was like doing like some kind of surgery or whatever the case be, you would think, okay, then why isn't the Secretary of State who's next in line the one to take over? Or why isn't the AG under them the one to take over? Why does it go all the way down to the Republican treasurer of the state, fourth in line of succession, to take over for a day or so? Yeah, the whole thing just screams of like fishy shit going on there is what it is, man. So I don't know. But if nothing else, like I said, hopefully something will happen and Carrie Lake be installed there. And if nothing else, Carrie Lake can finally deal with the fucking border crisis in Arizona right now is what it is, man. That Katie Hobbs is fucked with for, X amount of months now that she's been illegally holding office since January of this year. The fact that the first thing that bitch Katie Hobbs did when she, basically installed herself into office there, was to do away with a bunch of, it was basically, like train cars that they had set up on the border as like a makeshift wall is what it was. She removed all that shit out of there. So you could basically have illegals flooding like crazy through the fucking open border system is what it'll be then. Instead of having like an actual barricade for them to have to like jump over, essentially is what it is. Which obviously they would have to scale up and then eventually, crawl over and then jump down from is what it'll be then. But yeah, it's like, what the hell kind of retarded nonsense is that, lady? Unless you're directly working for cartels at that point, honestly. So, which, as it's been proven now, she pretty much is what it is. So, as is a lot of other motherfuckers there in Maricopa County and everything else like that. So, anywho, but yeah, I don't know, man. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting, though. And like I said, one of those things that could definitely be a game changer going forward, especially into 2024 here is what it is. Maybe this will be the first step to sanity. And you have the first domino of insanity fall down is what it would be then. So, anyway. But other than that, that's pretty much a wrap for the day, though. We'll be back, like I said, tomorrow at some point there and discuss any kind of updates in the Buckshot Thursday episode then. Other than that, that's a wrap for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, y'all. Later.